Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian. Welcome you back to Out of the Park Baseball 18. Again, we finished just behind the Philadelphia Athletics, who have to be on some kind of crazy streak of playoff appearances. Yeah, so between 1926 and 1932, they've been to the playoffs 6 times out of 7 and won the World Series 3 times. And it's not like they've got a huge payroll. Their payroll's about the same size as mine. They're just destroying us because of Lou Gehrig, who's been like a 4-time MVP now, I think. So short of getting Lou Gehrig for our own, there's not really an easy way to stop that. I'll be back in just a second. Okie doke. So, short of either finding our own Lou Gehrig, and Bruce Campbell might be sort of that good, kind of, but, this is frustrating, and there's nothing I can do about it, because there's only one Lou Gehrig, and let's see, how many MVPs has he won? He's won 3, and I'm almost positive he's going to win it for 32 as well. Short of them, like, accidentally cutting him, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see what's available in the free agent market. Is there anything remotely useful? Nope. It's old players that nobody else wants. Well, shit. We better hope we get some real improvement done from the minor leagues this season. So, in real life, the Browns were actually pretty terrible, and I don't think they ever made the playoffs. Or they certainly never made the World Series, to the best of my knowledge. If they did, they got, like, destroyed. And they only ever made it once. But it's just, ugh. We're so close. I think we have a team that could win the World Series with a little bit of help. Let's do a quick review of the team. I don't think we do this enough. Bruce Campbell was absolutely amazing. He led the league in WAR, led the league in batting average. Played a fantastic right field. Bruce Campbell should be MVP. I'm going to put it out there. I don't care that we didn't make the playoffs. This dude deserves an MVP for this crazy season. He just does. Woody English had another outstanding season. He's only ever disappointed me once, and that was because he got hurt in 1930. He's been consistently really solid. So let's see, what are his batting stats in the majors right now? He's already had over 1,000 hits, almost 130 triples. I think we're already approaching his level, yeah. In real life, he just didn't pan out. But for us, he is. So I'm super excited to see what the future is for him. Right. What else we got in terms of WAR? Schulte had a good year. Bishop, did you lead the league in walks again? You didn't? Bishop. Sizzler did very well in limited playing time. Fonseca is another one who's slipping a little bit. Fonseca's just been consistently good. I can't really say he was outstanding, but he's been consistently good. And Saltzgaber had a nice improving type season. Dressen had a better season in year 2, although again not brilliant. We really need more power at third base, and that might be something we find later on. And then McQuinn didn't really have enough at-bats to really judge him. Really happy with the offense. Pitching staff, Larry French was insane this season. Led the league in WAR. For a guy whose stamina is not so great, he's been killing it. Thomas was good, Schaffner was good, Harder was good, May was bad. May also missed a bunch of starts this season, so I hope he's more healthy next season. We could probably reshuffle the bullpen a bit, but it's fine. I'm not going to sweat it very much right now. So there's no one to add in the offseason, really. How did the minor leagues do? Dick Shot's not far from being Major League ready, although I don't have a spot for him. He'd just purely be a pinch hitter. Reese is ready, but there's not much to suggest him either. We got to get a good draft, and we do have 2 first-round draft picks this season. So I'm hoping we get something special out of it. And sure, we'll put Charlie Hyde back on the Major League roster. We could theoretically have both the MVP and the Cy Young this year, but I don't think we'll get both. I think we'll be lucky to get one. Let's see. Gold Gloves. English and Campbell. Max Bishop only has 3 of the all-time walk records. Unacceptable. Turner was second. Silver Slugger. Campbell picks one up. And so does French. That's a really good hitting by a pitcher. Rookie. Yeah, I don't have anyone that was eligible. John McGraw, number 1 manager again. Seriously, Dutch Leonard. I don't care if he did win 23 games. He was not as good as French. Flat out, not as good. That's some bullshit. Gehrig's going to keep getting it as long as they keep winning the MVP. That was bullshit. I got robbed. I should have gotten one or both of the top awards, and I got neither. Just because Dutch Leonard won 23 games. I'm not blaming OOTP. This is how actual baseball is sometimes. They stare at win-loss record, and they're like, oh my god, 23-0. You know what? I need to prove my point. I can't move on with this. Where's Dutch Leonard? Compare player. Larry French. Let's look at the stats. Games. French. Innings. Leonard. ERA. Okay, Leonard. Strikeouts. French by a little bit. Yeah. Better strike to walk out. Better strikeout to 9. I kind of see why they gave it to him, but honestly, this is why it happened. The better pitcher was French. It's purely because of this BABIP luck that we're talking about him. And I knew Gehrig was going to win the moment that Philadelphia won the World Series because the AI seems to have a really serious problem voting for players that come from losing teams. And again, this isn't a knock on Out of the Park Baseball 18. It's how actual baseball works. You might get like Andre Dawson 1 year, but every other year, if you don't make the playoffs, you typically don't get an MVP. And that's just how it works. We lost Lefty Ortman. Really? People really like Lefty Ortman that much. Okay. Fine. I thought Lefty Ortman was kind of trash. Actually, I feel kind of stupid for that. I actually should have traded him when I had the chance, and I didn't. That's on me. I take full responsibility for that nonsense. Fantasy's still 85. Why do we keep cutting ticket prices? If I ever cut Sizzler, I'm pretty sure I'd be murdered in my sleep. Maybe they won't even wait till I was asleep. They'd be like, hey, owner, stab in the face. We did lose Red Dorman. We did lose Art Reinholtz. We lost a bunch of players that honestly don't matter very much. Oh, new pitching coach. God, I completely spaced out on that. We could promote Josh Armenia, who would be the cheap option. And his team's put up some pretty good pitching numbers. I will see if there's like an amazing pitching coach, though. Just crazy good. There's Omar Martinez. And then there's Frank Armstrong. he'd really help Larry French out. And French is so good already. Do I hire a pitching coach just for one pitcher, though? I think maybe I do. Like, if we look at power pitchers, it's not going to help anyone. Because I don't have any power pitchers. Because there weren't that many power pitchers in the 1930s. That wasn't something people saw in baseball. The really big strikeout pitchers come later on. Like your Bob Fellers, your Bob Gibsons, players like that. I will actually go ahead and sign him. He's a really good fit for this team. But yeah, the pitchers that really got the strikeouts only started showing up when you got the really big home run hitters. Because if you're always swinging for the fences, and a lot of them did, you know, you're going to strike out more because you're going to miss. What's really frustrating is by continually making the World Series and not quite pulling it off, we're continually torching our draft position. Which means we have to get lucky. We have to make a brilliant trade that's the only way we can improve the team. Which is a super big downer. But I mean, I can't honestly see a way to get the kind of player we need to take it to the next level. No one's going to trade a great pitcher, which is what we could also use. Definitely no one's going to trade an elite third baseman, which is the other hole on this team. We could use a better catcher, sure, but I think Saltzgaber will be fine. We just have to hope we draft well, I guess. That we find the diamonds in the rough that no one else does. Because no one's going to give me an elite prospect without trading something major in return. That's a pretty decent shortstop. And you didn't get a lot of value for it either. Klinger could be good. I mean, I could probably get away with trading Sizzler. I think I'm bulletproof from that perspective. But then again, this is also the last year of my contract. Isn't it? Yeah, 33 is the last year of my contract. I'm a legendary GM. That's pretty hot. I have done really, really well. Cal Lehman took the PCL by storm. And yeah, the PCL's not that thrilling. Do I have a PCL team now? Is that why all of a sudden I heard about the PCL? No, I just have 2 AA teams now? This is weird. Like, teams are just disappear and reappear. It makes sense because, again, minor leagues just disappear. I don't even know what's going on now, man. I am lost. I don't know. Hall of Fame voting. Gotta cast my vote for Baker. By the way, they call him Home Run Baker, and in real life, he did hit just under 100 home runs. Which sounds crazy in Torres. He's hitting these homers in the dead ball era. No one hit homers in Major League history, really, until Babe Ruth. And it took a long time for the rest of the league to catch up to him. I'll vote for Mark Hard. Yeah, there's no one else here that really thrills me. In real life, I don't know when they changed. Actually, the Hall of Fame didn't even exist until 1938, I want to say. But in real life, there's a certain amount of filtering for the Hall of Fame process. Where there are just players that aren't that good. And they just get scrapped from the ballot and they never see the light of day in voting. There's a lot of marginal candidates like that shouldn't even be on the ballot. But the AI is like, you know what? Let's give them a vote. And they almost always fall off the ballot. Did Mark Hard make it? You traded Charlie Grimm. Oh, you sided Charlie Grimm. Okay, that was a steal. Okay, maybe not. With that control, he's never going to be a great pitcher. At least not in my book. Any famous players in this draft? Not really. Roy Hughes was decent. Nels Potter was decent. This is a bad draft. Another one. Yeah, I've got 2 draft picks at the end of the frickin' round, and it's not going to matter. Because by the time I draft, everyone even marginally good is gone. This is super frustrating. I basically have to get lucky and find one of the players that just, like, his power goes out of control. Yeah, there's no good contact hitters. There's one good power hitter. He plays shortstop kind of well. You know what? I'll draft him. What the hell? And I have 2 picks in a row. I'll draft George Proust, too. I mean, these are bad choices, but there's no good choices either. This is really unfortunate. There hasn't been a good draft in a while. Ever since the draft I got Campbell in. All the drafts have been either super top-heavy, there's just been nothing. I'm eventually going to need a replacement for English. And he's a good shortstop, and he's a decent left fielder, and he does well at stealing bases. I will actually sign him. I will let Proust walk, because Proust does nothing for me, except hit for power, and McQuinn is already a better all-around hitter than he is. So I will go ahead and sign you. Because I've got so much money, I literally have no reason not to spend it. Are you any good? No. Are you any good? Yes. You're a decent center fielder who will get on base. There's value in that. I will happily sign a 2nd round pick for that level. Jim Hitchcock. Good shortstop / 3rd baseman, doesn't hit all that well. Again, though, it would be useful to restock the minor leagues. And players like these, even if they don't make the majors, are still have some value. Bill Jackson. A good catcher who does hit a little bit for home run power. I don't think he's that interesting. I'd actually rather have the 3rd round draft pick again next season. Higbee is crap. Moochie is crap. Adamski's like super crap. So I'll get an extra 1st, 2nd, and possibly 3rd next year. I don't know if they just keep rolling over or not. I don't think they do. I think at a certain point, it's use the pick or lose the pick. Flieger, I'm a little bit happy with, just as he's got enough tools that I think I can make something of him. I doubt very much any of these other players will make the majors, although who knows. Because I know we're too reliant on English. He's the most important person on the roster. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and change your game strategy. If it's at least moderate severity, I want you to bench him. And I'll change that if there's like if there's like a playoff run. I'll be like, you know what, play him. Yeah, I highly doubt that any... Mark Hard might have made the Hall of Fame. Nope. He'll make it next year, I think. He was really close. Really? This guy got any votes at all? The dude won exactly 200 games. We're in the era where 200 games is pretty damn crap. That's Butch Weiss, okay. Damn, the White Sox just handed Nels Potter over to Cincinnati? Didn't you draft him number 1 overall? It was number 7 overall. Oh, they didn't sign him, and he was a 4th-round draft pick. That is so stupid. I know Carl Reynolds is decent, but that was a dumb move. That was real dumb. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'll get a bunch of picks, which won't matter because the draft classes continue to be extremely thin. No, I will get picks for that. Okay. I didn't remember if they could get carried forward or not. This has been a really bad off season. Not really bad. I mean, the best players we kept. But we've only maybe got another season 2 tops of George Sisler. You've actually cut my budget, which actually makes sense. Because I'm not spending the money you're giving me anyway. Because I don't have a need to. I have literally no justification for signing players, except just to sign them. Luke Sewell got better. That's fine. Oh, let's take a look at spring training. Any rookies I want to give a shot to? Newsom, maybe. Dietrich, you need to start putting that control on some. If you want to get a shot in the majors. Horton, I don't really need another catcher. Let's sort by potential. In real life, he just didn't do... Actually, in real life... Nope, you're doing it again. Major League only. Yeah, real life, you had 270 Major League hits. Are you better than Maslov? A little bit. You're probably better than Charlie High at this point. Yeah, I'm not going to call him up for that. Yeah, I'm looking here, and I really don't see anyone that I'm that eager to call up. That is weird that we only have 2 minor league teams. I wonder what happened to all those players they used to have. Huh. We'll just sim through spring training for now. We have really top-notch overall quality, but I'm really starting to worry about our depth. It's really starting to get to me. I don't care about dressing that much. Third base, it's not that we have depth at third base, it's that we have a bunch of third basemen who are all roughly the same quality. None of them are great. But none of them are bad either. Like, in real life, I like Luke Gehrig, but in this game, I kind of want him to get, like his leg to fall off. Just so he can't play baseball anymore. I don't want him dead, I just want him not to play baseball. I think that's big of me. Yeah, we win the frickin' preseason again. Big friggin' deal. If we can't get past the A's... Charlie High blew out his quad. You know what? I'm just going to cut you. You're made of glass at this point, and you're not that good. You're not worth keeping on the roster. Go on. Hope Charlie High wasn't secretly, like, keeping everything together. And by the way, I've never really felt as much of a dick in this game as when I just did that. But that's how baseball worked in those days. A lot of times, if you got hurt... They didn't really have a disabled list. You just get cut. And that would happen. And there would be very little you could do about it. I guess that's my roster set. I mean, 15 hitters, 10 pitchers. I want you to use Stewart a little bit more. I want you to use him more often and use him less often. Everything else is fine. Yeah. Everything else looks great. This is pretty much the same. I mean, here, Mosloff will fill in and right. Since I lost Charlie High. Mosloff can handle right, though. It's fine. Oh, Sizzler. I totally forgot. Yeah, McQuinn will be playing there. Actually, I shouldn't even have McQuinn on the roster, except for the fact that I kind of don't have a reason to send him back to the minors. You will be if starter tired, though. Sizzler is slipping, but he's still one of the best hitters on the team, so I will happily have him bat 5th. And then I'll do the same thing here. I'll put in Sizzler first, and then McQuinn will back up at first. And again, bump him up to 5th. I don't think he's a number 3 hitter anymore. Let's take a quick look at the ratings of the team. Yeah, English, Campbell, and Fonseca are all better hitters than Sizzler now. He's already 40. This dude's got to retire, doesn't he? Okay, so in real life, he had 2,800 hits. In this version, he has almost 4,000 hits. The dude has been amazing. Amazing. I gotta check. Maybe you guys don't enjoy this as much as I do, but I always love looking at leaderboards. Is Sizzler the all-time hit king? In this version? He is. All-time total base leader, all-time singles leader. He might pass Tris Speaker for doubles, maybe not. Career. That's crazy. Wow. It's one of the reasons I love playing the historical baseball, because I kind of know what happened in real life. And in real life, George Sizzler was a Hall of Famer, but he wasn't this good. None of these are big surprises, to be honest with you, in terms of hits. Sam Crawford's actually a bit of a surprise. Sam Crawford was known in real life for having the all-time doubles record when he retired. He was really good. And again, Sam Crawford, absolute Hall of Famer. Oh, it even says here when he got inducted. Cool. I didn't realize that. When did Sizzler get inducted in real life? Or did he? Oh no, that's in-game that Crawford got. Yeah, like if we look at Rogers Hornsby. Yeah, it doesn't say until he retires. Yeah, Rogers Horns, actually, they've kind of like... No way, I thought Rogers Hornsby had over 3,000 hits. He hung on too long, it looks like. Okay, enough playtime. I could get lost in these history books. I have gotten lost in the history books in the game. I remember playing like OOTP 14 or 15, and I just stared at the history books for like 2.5 hours. It's like, oh yeah, there's supposed to be a game in here. Hirsch Martin is weightlifting better. You want me to make the playoffs? I've got to have one of the worst. Let's see. I don't remember Rudy York being that great in real life. Yeah, he had kind of a short career. He wasn't bad, but not second overall draft pick. None of these players are actually really well known for being great except for Schoolboy Rowe, who I'm pretty sure won a bunch of games. Even Schoolboy Rowe. Oh, I was thinking of Preacher Rowe, not Schoolboy Rowe. Preacher Rowe is really, really good. He also spells his name differently. It's R-O-E for Preacher Rowe. Yeah, this is just a bad draft class. I wonder, where do we rank in the minor league systems? We got to be at the bottom. Not as bad as it could be. How does frickin' Philadelphia 7th in the league? Oh my god. This is so irritating. They've won the World Series. They've gone to the playoffs, and yet they're still 7th in the league in terms of minors. Do they just have like an enormous minor league system? They've only got 2 teams. A AAA. And, yeah. Their prospects genuinely aren't that great. Damn you, Lou Gehrig. And Goose Goslin. As if that's fair. Alright. Let's play. How far are we going to get? You know what we'll do? First of all, we'll complain about fricking Fred Schulte being out again. I got to deal with Woody Jensen for 4 weeks. That could be the playoffs right there. I'm not going to change the roster because I don't have another center fielder. Dick Schott might make the majors this season, but I don't have another center fielder. So I'm just going to let Jensen play the position until he's better. We'll see how the season goes. I might actually try to stretch this one out a little bit. Stupid Fred Schulte. Schulte's not super important to the team, or at least he wouldn't be if I had more depth in the outfield, which I don't. Day-to-day blurred vision. Wouldn't that not be day-to-day? I mean, if you can't see a baseball, you can't really hit it. Can you? Here's Freddie Lindstrom complaining again. We'll do a play up to the All-Star break. Because I don't want this to go too far over. Trade rumors. Heine C. Mueller, the center fielder. Yeah, if you want to be happier with role on the team, maybe try hitting better. Just saying. Now, here's someone that's actually unreasonably disappointing, because the real Freddie Lindstrom had a pretty decent career. I think he made the Hall of Fame, too, but he was, really marginal. Really didn't deserve it. All-Star Game voting. We're not sure when Schulte's coming back. We're making it. I mean, we're not super bad off. I don't know, guys. I don't know. We're not playing poorly. We're still in the playoff hunt. We just need that extra piece, and I don't know where it's going to come from. Because as long as we continue to be better than average, we're going to continue to get bad draft picks. And we're not having a lot of success trading players. And we don't have that many assets to trade in the first place. Look, George Sizzler could probably be traded at this point, except I don't want to. I could bench him, but I don't know if I could do that to him. He's the all-time hit king. You can't just bench a guy like that. Actually, if he's going to get an injury, I'm glad he got it now, because it's on the All-Star break. Are you still crying, Lindstrom? We don't know when Johnny Stewart's coming back. I don't care. Right. Who made it from St. Louis? French did. Thomas did. Bishop did. Bruce Campbell did. Nice. Ed Morgan wants out of Cleveland. Don't we all? Morgan's a really good player, actually. I just don't have a spot for him. He'd be a backup center fielder, and I can't give him a starting role right now. Alright, that's going to be it for this episode. So we have not completed the All-Star game. I apologize. We'll actually go up to the All-Star game. There we go. We're at the midway point of this season. 23-game hitting streak. So yeah, it's been a decent season so far. We're in second place, 1 game back. We need something extra, and I think the first thing I'll do next episode is I'm going to sit very carefully, look at the roster, look at our prospects, see if we can put together a package that gets us that extra piece to see if we can maybe push ourselves into the playoffs. But that'll be it for this time. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you have, like, subscribe, comment down below. You know the drill. The jazz. Not the jazz, the drill. And until next time, this has been Avindian. and I bid you good day.